Hold on to your hats, folks. We're diving into the wild, wacky world of housing affordability, a topic so thrilling it could give a roller coaster a run for its money. Picture this: home prices are skyrocketing faster than a spacebound billionaire, while wages are barely inching up like a snail on vacation. The result? Young people are stuck in a Sisyphean struggle to save for a down payment, only to face decades of soul-crushing mortgage repayments. And let's not forget the ominous warning: our home is our biggest asset, but if the real estate market tanks, it could take the global economy down with it. So can we make houses affordable without triggering a financial apocalypse? Strap in, because this ride's about to get bumpy. Welcome to the era where housing affordability has become the ultimate challenge, not just in America, but worldwide. Home prices are racing ahead of wages like they're in a high-speed chase, leaving young people struggling for years just to gather enough for a down payment. Once they manage that Herculean feat, they're stuck with mortgage repayments that stretch into the distant future. Meanwhile, we're all told that our home is our most valuable asset. But remember the last time the real estate market took a nosedive? Yep, it dragged the entire global economy down with it. So the burning question remains: can we make houses affordable without causing economic mayhem? The cost of housing is a heart-wrenching issue for many, and home ownership is seen as the holy grail. The government, in its infinite wisdom, has introduced a shiny new incentive program to help first-time buyers dive into the market. According to the US Census Bureau, about 65% of Americans own their homes, meaning a significant chunk of the population has a vested interest in not seeing their biggest financial asset lose value. Yet, despite this, a KO Institute study reveals that a whopping 87% of Americans are worried about housing costs. This creates a paradox where people want affordable housing, just not their own. The only political strategy that seems to work is to pretend to address the problem while actually making it worse. Enter the Biden administration's master plan: tax credits galore, families selling their homes to other owner-occupants could get up to $10,000, and first-time homebuyers might snag an additional $5,000 to offset mortgage rates. Plus, there's a juicy $225,000 bonus for first-generation homebuyers. Sounds fantastic, right? Wrong, because if you're a new buyer who gets $40,000 in extra tax bonuses and grants, all it does is make affordable housing $40,000 more expensive. It's like giving someone a life preserver made of the lead. Sure, it's great for existing property owners, but it's a band-aid on a bullet wound. This strategy has been tried elsewhere, like Australia and Canada, and guess what? It didn't work as a long-term fix, although it did allow some folks to Airbnb their basements and buy luxury cars. Their real estate markets are even more chaotic than ours. Just ask poor Patrick B., who films all his videos in random offices because he can't afford the rent on his London flat despite his modest hedge fund manager salary. The policies aimed at increasing purchasing power for new buyers really just pad the pockets of existing owners, giving politicians some short-term brownie points while doing little to solve the underlying issues. So if boosting purchasing power isn't the answer, the only other option is to lower house prices. Simple, right? Not so fast. If house prices plummet too quickly, it can leave homeowners underwater on their loans, owing more than their house is worth. This destabilizes the financial system and the economy, making lending riskier. If debt can't be secured against real assets, people might just walk away from their homes, causing a ripple effect that could wreck your entire financial life. The ones who suffer most in a housing crash are the first-time buyers with hefty mortgages. These folks have the smallest equity buffer and are the first to be underwater. Meanwhile, longtime homeowners with minimal or no mortgage might just enjoy the lower property taxes. Sacrificing the bottom rung of the housing ladder to let more people grab on isn't just cruel, it's ineffective. This was painfully clear in 2008 when house prices in some areas were slashed in half, yet home ownership rates still fell. Simply making houses cheaper won't make them more affordable without some radical and often politically unpalatable solutions. It's time to get creative. One intriguing solution is the land value tax. Unlike traditional property taxes, this tax targets the value of the land itself, not the buildings on it. Imagine paying a percentage of your land's value every year, regardless of what's built on it. This would incentivize landowners to maximize returns by developing their land or selling it to someone who will. Think of it as a way to discourage hoarding empty plots purely for capital appreciation. It could also help reduce income taxes by providing an alternative revenue source for the government. This concept, first popularized by economist Henry George, promises to solve many societal woes, including housing. George argued in his book, Progress and Poverty, that a well-managed land value tax could be a nation's only tax. Although the title sounds as cheery as a funeral dirge, the book was wildly popular in the 19th century, spawning a political movement known as Georgism. Proponents of Georgism believed this tax could make housing more affordable by encouraging productive use of land. Implementing a land value tax could theoretically make housing more affordable without crashing the economy. It sounds counterintuitive, adding a tax to make something cheaper, but if landowners have to pay annually, they'll want to use their land efficiently or sell it to someone who will. This could reduce speculative landholding and encourage actual development, putting more houses on the market. So how do we make a land value tax work? One option is to implement a progressive tax rate. Imagine this: someone who owns a humble family home on a $500,000 lot might pay a modest 1% tax, or $5,000 a year. Meanwhile, a wealthy landlord with a portfolio of 50 homes worth $25 million could face a steeper 4% tax, or a cool $1 million annually. This approach not only incentivizes productive use of land, but also ensures that those with more contribute their fair share. It's like Robin Hood, but with spreadsheets and tax forms. Henry George, the original land tax crusader, argued that this tax could be the only one a country needs. His book Progress and Poverty sparked a movement so fervent that it's still alive today, known as Georgism. Supporters believe that taxing land value could solve a multitude of problems, including housing affordability. The logic is sound. If landowners have to pay a hefty tax, they'll either use the land productively or sell it to someone who will. This could flood the market with more housing, making homes more affordable. But wait, there's a catch. Implementing such a tax is politically treacherous. People generally don't like new taxes, especially when big landowners can whip up sob stories about poor, hard-working farmers and retirees being driven out of their homes. The moral argument for a land value tax is strong. Land belongs to everyone, and those who claim exclusive use should pay rent to the rest of society. It's a compelling narrative, but selling it to voters is another story. And then there's the pesky issue of government interference in the free market. Critics will argue that a land value tax unfairly tilts the playing field, but that's precisely the point. Even if we never see a widespread land value tax, we could at least scrap existing policies that favor real estate over other investments. Real estate-specific perks like 1031 exchanges, reduced capital gains, and government-backed mortgages create a skewed system that encourages land hoarding. But let's face it, folks, a land value tax isn't the silver bullet. It assumes that people with land holdings wouldn't already be building housing if they could. The reality is, they often can't due to zoning laws, NIMBYism, homeowners associations, and a labyrinth of building codes. These obstacles make constructing new homes a Herculean task, so our second bold solution is simple: build more houses. Building more houses sounds like a no-brainer, right? Yet America is constructing fewer homes today than we did in the 1970s, despite our population nearly doubling. This isn't just about increasing the supply of a crucial commodity, it's about creating jobs. Constructing homes and the infrastructure to support them requires real hands-on labor, boosting employment. But simply churning out more houses won't solve everything. Urban sprawl is a massive problem, and building homes miles away from city centers without public transport or amenities just swaps one issue for another. The key is medium-density housing, think apartments and townhouses, that offer a decent place to live without sprawling out into the boonies. People support new construction nationally, but oppose it locally, fearing it will dilute their property values. Overcoming this NIMBY, not in my backyard mentality is crucial. China offers a cautionary tale. Over the past 20 years, they've built more homes than any other country, yet housing remains unaffordable. Why? Because many of these homes are financial assets first, and living spaces second. Vast ghost cities of empty apartments exist solely as investments. Learning from China's mistakes, we need to ensure new housing is actually livable, not just a line item in someone's investment portfolio. Another wild idea is defanging real estate as a financial asset. Currently, properties are bundled and traded on securities markets like stocks or bonds. Investors now buy a significant share of affordable homes, driving up prices. Large corporate investors own a growing chunk of the housing market, making it harder for regular folks to buy homes. Reining in this trend could involve banning corporate ownership of single-family homes, a solution that might actually be politically popular. Limiting lending could also curb speculative buying. Banks might laugh at you for asking for a massive loan to start a business, but they'll trip over themselves to give you a huge mortgage. Tightening these lending practices could put the brakes on property investors looking to make a quick buck off the housing market. And now for a plot twist. Fixing the tax code could be the final piece of the puzzle. Our tax system is an overcomplicated mess that often favors real estate over productive investments. Cleaning up these convoluted regulations could shift incentives away from hoarding land and towards investing in businesses that create jobs and stimulate the economy. In conclusion, making housing affordable without tanking the economy is like juggling flaming swords while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. It's tricky, but not impossible. Whether it's implementing a land value tax, building more homes, defanging real estate as a financial asset, or fixing our tax code, bold actions are needed. Each solution has its own set of challenges, but with creativity and political will, we can find a balance. So stay tuned, keep your sense of humor, and remember, the housing market doesn't have to be a Shakespearean tragedy. It can be a comedy of errors with a happy ending. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Money Moves, where we break down the latest in economics and current events. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. For more insightful content and expert analysis, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Stay informed, stay ahead, and we'll see you in the next video. Keep making those money moves.